Ever wonder how some people just seem to have a knack for finding those uh, amazing real estate deals? The ones everyone else seems to miss.
It's like they have a secret source or something.
This week, we're diving into that secret sauce.
Ooh, I like that.
We're talking all about neighborhood analysis and how it can help you uncover hidden real estate gems.
Because it's not always about the individual property.
Exactly. We're dissecting an episode of the Property Playbook podcast that had some seriously smart advice from the pros.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Get this. Their guests were Sarah Thompson. She's the brains behind Neighborhood Scout, that data company.
I've heard of them, yeah.
And Michael Davis. He's a seasoned investor known for finding those up-and-coming areas, before they get too trendy and expensive.
Ah, the early bird gets the worm.
Right. So Sarah made this point that really resonated with me. She said, it's so easy to get caught up in the hype of a single property.
Yeah, you fall in love with the granite countertops and forget to check if the neighborhood's even worth investing in.
Exactly. She argues that really understanding the neighborhood is absolutely critical, especially in this market.
Totally. When inventory's tight, you need every advantage you can get.
It's like having insider information. So Michael, the investor, he has this, almost like a sixth sense for spotting those neighborhoods that are about to take off.
So how does he predict the future of a neighborhood?
He's not a fortune teller or anything, but he did say he looks for a few key indicators, one of them being population growth, particularly younger families and professionals moving in.
Because they're putting down roots. They're invested in the community.
Exactly. They're not just passing through. They're looking for long-term value.
Makes sense. So did he have any examples, any stories about these neighborhoods he's uncovered?
Oh, yeah. He talked about this one place in Atlanta, Adair Park, said it was totally undervalued, totally overlooked.
What did he see that everyone else missed?
He noticed a ton of millennial home buyers and like this surge in renovation activity.
So he's looking for those little hints, those whispers that things are changing.
Yeah, like those first few buds on a tree in spring, it's about to explode.
I like that.
But here's the kicker. He dug a little deeper and discovered that Microsoft had just opened a massive campus nearby.
Oh, wow. So that influx of tech workers.
Drove up the housing demand. He basically bought the rumor before it even hit the news.
Genius. Okay, so how do we, the non-real estate moguls, get in on this action?
That's where Sarah's data-driven approach comes in.
Oh, this is the Neighborhood Scout part.
Yeah. So she recommends starting with resources like the Census Bureau and city-data.com.
Those sites always seemed a little intimidating to me.
They can be a bit overwhelming, but trust me, they're treasure troves of information.
Okay, so what kind of data should we be looking for?
Well, you can analyze things like median income, education levels. Oh, and this is important, she said, to really pay attention to household composition.
Household composition. So, are we talking families, singles, roommates?
Exactly. Because a neighborhood full of young families tells a totally different story than just, say, looking at the average age of residents.
Right, because you might have a neighborhood with a lot of older adults and think, oh, it's a quiet, stable area, but then...
It could be ripe for a demographic shift that shakes things up.
Fascinating. So it's not just about numbers, it's about understanding the stories behind them.
Exactly. But to make things easier, are there tools to help us analyze all this data?
That's where Neighborhood Scout comes in, right?
Right. Sarah was saying they drilled down to the street level with data on crime rates, school zones, and get this, they even have algorithms that can help predict investment potential.
Hold on. Algorithms. Tell me more.
Okay, so apparently they use all sorts of historical data and market trends. But even Sarah admitted that data is only one piece of the puzzle.
So what else should we consider?
She emphasized the importance of local expertise.
That makes sense.
Like talking to real estate agents who really know the area, they can provide that extra layer of context.
The kind of stuff you can't get from a spreadsheet.
Right. They might know about upcoming developments, zoning changes, or just that gut feeling.
Speaking of gut feelings and hidden gems, Michael had this fascinating case study he shared about an investment he made in Oakland, California.
Oh, yeah. This one was interesting. What was it, Fruitvale?
Yeah, Fruitvale.
Yeah.
What made him choose that area?
Fruitvale, huh? I feel like Oakland has so many different neighborhoods, each with its own, personality. What was it about Fruitvale that caught his eye?
Well, it's funny you should say personality because Fruitvale is one of those areas that often gets overlooked.
Overlooked, you mean?
It's had a bit of a reputation, higher crime rates, older housing stock, not exactly what you call a glamorous investment.
So what made Michael see potential where others just saw, problems.
Data, my friend. Remember, Michael is all about the data. He dug into the numbers and found something pretty remarkable.
Ooh, what did he find? Spill the tea.
The median household income in Fruitvale had jumped by 12% in just a few years.
12%. Okay, that's not something to ignore.
Exactly. It's a big red flag, or should I say, a green flag, that something positive is brewing.
So it wasn't just a gut feeling. He had the numbers to back it up.
Yeah.
What else was he picking up on?
Well, he noticed a new demographic moving in, young professionals and artists who were priced out of those more, shall we say, established Oakland neighborhoods.
Makes sense. Affordability is a big factor these days, and those creatives, they can really breathe life into an area.
Exactly. But here's the real clincher. Michael uncovered that the city had this whole redevelopment plan in the works for Fruitvale, a new BART station, mixed-use developments.
Yeah.
You know, the kind of stuff that can really revitalize an area.
Hold on, back up for a sec. For those of us who aren't real estate experts, break down what mixed-use development even means. Why is that such a big deal?
Oh, it's huge. Imagine a building, or even a whole block, that's not just residential or commercial, but a blend of both. Think apartments above shops, offices next to restaurants.
So it's about creating that vibrant, walkable community feel.
Precisely. It's super attractive to residents and businesses, which of course drives up property values.
Okay, so we've got improving financials, an influx of creatives, a major redevelopment plan. Sounds like Michael hit the jackpot with Fruitvale. Did his instincts pay off?
They sure did. He snagged a property that needed some work for $350,000, put in about $80,000 in renovations.
Don't leave us hanging.
Sold it within 3 months for $550,000.
Whoa, talk about a return on investment. That's incredible.
It really goes to show you the power of this approach, combining data with a little bit of that Michael Davis intuition.
Right, because it's not just about riding the wave, it's about understanding the currents that created it in the first place.
100%. And you know, something Sarah said really stuck with me. She said, focus on the data, not your emotions.
It's so easy to get caught up in the excitement of a potential deal or let our personal preferences cloud our judgment, right?
Absolutely. That's why relying on data is crucial. It helps you stay objective and make more strategic decisions.
It's like Sarah's saying, leave your heart out of it, let those numbers be your guide. So for our listeners who are ready to put on their detective hats, where do they even begin?
It starts with a little shift in mindset. Don't just search for properties, search for neighborhoods that are on the cusp of something great.
And we're not talking about relying on those gut feelings alone, right? We're talking about using the resources we've been discussing. The census data, city-data.com, even platforms like Neighborhood Scout.
Exactly. Look for those diamonds in the rough, those areas that might have a less than stellar reputation, but have underlying data points that hint at future potential.
Because what might seem undesirable to some could be a gold mine for those who know what to look for.
And remember, real estate is always changing. What's considered a less desirable area today could be the hotspot of tomorrow. It's a constant evolution.
So much of this comes down to asking the right questions. What's driving these demographic shifts? What development plans are in motion? It's like we're playing real estate detective, except instead of dust for fingerprints, we're digging through data.
I love that analogy. And the best detectives, they never stop learning, right? Always got to be up on the latest techniques.
So true. This isn't about some magic formula. It's about staying curious, staying informed.
And, you know, sometimes those overlooked areas, they hold the most potential. Look at Michael's Fruitvale investment. Most people wouldn't have given it a second thought, but he saw past the surface.
He saw those whispers of change in the data, and he knew how to read them.
Exactly. It's not about following the crowd. It's about carving your own path.
Using data as your compass, maybe with a little bit of that Michael Davis intuition as your guide.
And never forget, neighborhoods are always evolving. What's considered undesirable today could be the next big thing. It's a constant dance.
So for all of you listening out there, think about this. What if the next real estate boom isn't about chasing those trendy, pricey neighborhoods?
What if it's about discovering the hidden potential in the areas everyone else has dismissed?
The places that maybe just need a little love, a little vision, that's where the real opportunities might be hiding. And there you have it, another deep dive packed with insights to up your real estate game. Now go out there, do your homework, and remember the most rewarding investments are often the ones that require you to dig a little deeper. Until next time, happy hunting.